Can you play a little bit up the neck? Yeah, there you go, up in that range. Oh, this is indeed Peter Oberg number 124.
You got this one exactly right. You have superpowers.
You know, not all heroes wear masks, but, you know, some of us do.
Welcome back for part 2. I'm back with Marshall Brunet at his beautiful shop, and here we are blindfolding ourselves and testing to see if we can pick out which guitar is more expensive without being able to see it or know what it is in advance. This is our handy dandy blindfold.
Good to see you, Brandon.
Good to, well, I can at least see you. You can.
Yeah.
Last time, I wore the blindfold, and you can watch that video here. In this episode, part 2, Marshall is going to see if he can pick out the difference between two guitars at a time. Shall we start?
Sure, let's do it. Whoa, I can't see.
Do you need your glasses? Better.
Oh, yeah. All the difference. It's amazing.
It's incredible.
How did you play without your glasses?
Yeah.
I mean, this makes all the difference in the world. I sense Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Barcelona's in the air. I love that sound.
That is a very distinct sound, isn't it?
It certainly is. Keep going. I'm having a moment here. Oh, yeah.
That's good indeed.
Oh, my goodness. Low end and the middle range. Oh my goodness. You get lost in that.
So, what's the price range of this thing?
70,000.
Interesting. Okay. And you're basing that off of?
You know, I can hear the fatness of the sound. I can hear that lower end. It's got the way it moves the air in the room is really telling to me. You know, it's a very visceral guitar. It's not overpowering. It's not assaulting the senses. It's just moving every single molecule of air in the room in the most enticing way.
I feel that too. Let's try the next one. Here we go.
As you can see, I can't. No, American.
Why do you say American?
It's very American. It's a little bit one-dimensional. It kind of lacks complexity. I hear a cedar top.
Interesting.
Indian rosewood sides and back. Boy, I'll be darned if I almost want to say I hear... can you play a little bit up the neck? Yeah, there you go, up in that range. Oh, I hear sound ports on this.
You can hear sound ports?
I can hear sound ports.
I was always curious about that because I couldn't really actually hear a difference.
So, I'm going to call my shot on this one, because I think I know this guitar pretty well. This is indeed Peter Oberg number 124. He stated that this was one of his best guitars, and actually I'm just finishing up working on another Peter Oberg in my shop right now. And this one does have the two sound ports, and I can tell you because it makes the upper end a little bit uneven.
Well, that was just astounding. So let's just say you got this one exactly right. 2011 Peter Oberg number 124 with sound ports and a cedar top. That's kind of unreal, Marshall. Wow. You have superpowers.
Well, not all heroes wear masks, but, you know, some of us do.
You nailed this one.
Okay.
It was incredible. This one you didn't exactly get, but you did say Barcelona.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Miguel Rodriguez. There we go.
So 1958, Miguel Rodriguez.
Yeah.
30,000. You said 70,000, but you were right in the upper percentile of guitars.
Well, it had just that huge fat sound, and I've it's been a long time since I've heard a Rodriguez and a Simplicio side by side, but I've been listening to a lot of Simplicios, so it's really got that same fatness. And boy, you stack that deck on me with the that maple, because that really adds a lot of that sensation. Because this thing really moves the air really well.
This is one of the better guitars I've ever played. Well, that was an amazing experiment. I think if you didn't already get licensed as a luthier, I officially laminate your license.
Excellent. Oh, this sounds very Japanese.
Interesting. you can smell it.
Yeah, I can smell it, yeah. Okay.
Number 2. Can you smell it?
I do, yes.
What are you smelling?
Well, this one, it smells like an older, musty rosewood style. The first one smelled like cypress. I believe that the first one, I might be calling my shot on this one. But I believe that's a 2019 R.E. Brunet number 780 something or other, 790 something.
Wow.
With a cedar top, and reason I recognize it is because it's got a very distinctive sound. It's got it's an experimental guitar that we kind of changed a few things and we discussed a lot. So I believe I know that guitar pretty well.
Interesting. Okay, here's number 2.
This one smells, sounds like a cedar top.
Okay. Out of the 2, which one is more expensive? Number 1 or this one, number 2?
And I go with number 1.
Number 1. Okay, you can take off your blindfold.
Nope.
We have a 2019 R.E. Brunet concert model.
Yep.
10K.
Yep.
And you can tell us what that one is.
Oh, an Asturias for 3,000. So this was the first one. I did get
That
it
is the first
when I
one.
said Japanese. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So we both failed one test.
Yep. Although, I smelled it in the room.
Amazing. Because you were talking about it, and I was like, are you talking about the second guitar? You haven't even heard it.
I could smell this guitar. You know, for me, when as a luthier. It
smells great.
Yeah. And then this one, my first initial impression was Japanese. It sounded Japanese. And I wish I had stuck with my instincts and didn't let my nose override my senses, because, you know, I called the shot on this one, but I was sensing Japanese at the same time with my ears.
Yeah. Okay. Should we do another one?
Let's do another one.
Today's video is brought to you by Classical Guitar Pro. That's my brand new online classical guitar course, which is 6 hours, 53 videos. It's a whole curriculum designed to teach you what you would normally learn in the first 6 months to a year of classical guitar lessons. So if you want to learn classical guitar but are stuck, struggling reading music or struggling to learn the techniques, check out classicalguitar-pro.com to learn more. So for those listening, while I pick out instruments, one of the coolest things here is that Marshall has all these instruments to pick from, and while he might know some of his guitars, like he amazingly named the last one, there's so many here. The fact that he can pick out the exact model is just astounding. So we have one more round.
All right.
Let's do 2 more guitars.
And remember, you were also aided by the whole touch thing. I'm not touching anything.
That's true. If you could touch, it'd be too easy, Marshall.
Oh, yeah.
You could be like, oh, the grain is semilateral.
It has a Chatoyance index of 3.
Okay.
Nice. Gorgeous.
Thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can hear this guitar on a couple of David Starobin albums.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
It's a 23 Hauser maple sides and back 630 scale spruce top with the Hauser patent bracing.
1923 Hauser Viennese model, 620 millimeters. That's incredible, Marshall. Okay, well, you nailed that one. Let's see if you can get the next one.
All right. I'm getting warmed up. I'm feeling good. He says just before he falls off the cliff into oblivion, calling his shot way too early. it doesn't sound all that expensive. I'd say probably $2,000 or under.
Why do you say that?
I'm not hearing as much resonance. I'm hearing a bit of creakiness when you're tuning it too. Well, it's got a nice little bit of resonance up there on the first string, but it doesn't sound like it's got a very sophisticated setup.
Is it your standard classical guitar?
Is it my standard classical guitar? Well, it sounds a little bit on the hollower side.
Yeah, that's true.
A nice guitar.
Okay, in comparison to the first one, that you named it perfectly.
Yes.
So, in comparison to the first one,
I'd say that this one's less expensive. I'd say maybe, $4,000 and under.
okay, take off your blindfold.
Oh. There you go.
Stumped you on that one.
Yeah, you got me.
It's a curveball, though.
It really is, because I haven't heard this one too terribly much, because when you were here earlier...
You weren't listening.
I wasn't listening. But it is a smaller guitar.
And it's definitely a sound that sounds, if you don't know what it is, it sounds a little underwhelming.
Yeah,
especially after...
Especially after that Hauser model. I mean, that Hauser model, you can understand why Segovia went to him and said, hey, you know what? This guy really does know what he's doing, because
Absolutely.
It's an exceptionally great guitar. This, it's a good guitar, but it's very generic, and I've never really had a very high opinion of these earlier guitars. And there's a reason why after Torres, essentially,
Right.
that's why everything else here looks like that, and these always sound a little toyish.
I know what you mean, and I was thinking about it when you were blindfolded. What would I be hearing? And if after the Hauser especially, you hear something that sounds super mellow, almost dull, and then of course there's gut strings.
Yeah. And that really, because I was listening to that upper end, and I made comments about that, or at least I think I did.
You did. Yeah.
But the bass end wasn't speaking to me, and clearly the bass end isn't going to speak to you on a guitar this size anyways, because you just don't have the air volume inside of the cavity of the guitar.
Although maybe it's because I'm playing it, but I do feel that as far as 19th century guitars go, this one does have a bit of a kick in the bass. But
it does.
It's relatively less than anything else in here,
Right. I mean, it's a kick in the bass, much like if you're used to ketchup. A1 steak sauce might have an extra spice to it.
Right.
We're talking about small amounts, and yes, this is a nice sounding guitar.
This is praised for its historicity, and it's a surviving guitar with lots of restoration.
Yep.
And compared to that Hauser, I would choose the Hauser.
Likewise.
Yeah. Although, but actually, I don't know the answer to this. This is going to a museum at the National Museum in South Dakota.
Yep.
This historical value might actually make it more than the Hauser. I don't know. Does it? I have no idea. What is the value of this guitar?
That's an interesting question. It's whatever somebody is willing to pay for it.
Right.
And so we know how much was paid for it by the donor, and we know how much that they put into it for restoration, obviously. I think that it's, maybe somewhere in the general neighborhood thereof.
Of that guitar?
Yeah, roughly. Just because it's historically significant, and conditionally speaking, it was actually in quite good condition. It's had its hodgepodge of restorations and stuff done to it. But boy, I hope to look this good when I'm that old too.
180 years.
Yeah. So track record isn't looking too good, because at just below 40, we're at this.
Oh God. I think you did remarkably well, Marshall. I threw a curveball at you with this one, and I do agree that objectively the Hauser is the better guitar, and you picked out two guitars blindfolded by model number and woods, which is really incredible. So I think you passed the test.
Excellent. Thank you.
I'm not sure if I passed my test.
No, I think you did quite well. The first one, I definitely threw a curveball at you, because I wanted to show you the difference between a very nice guitar that wasn't set up very well versus a guitar that is not a very nice guitar in the grand pantheon of what I've got behind me.
Right.
And I wanted to show you something that was set up beyond belief, where I think over the course of the last year I've done maybe a half a dozen setups on it to get it dialed in perfect.
It is absolutely perfect. It just shows how important that is. I mean, if you have a guitar and you have never taken it to get a setup, please take it to someone like a Marshall in your area, or if you're in the Chicago area, take it to Marshall. These things completely change the experience of playing, and you can take a pretty good guitar and make it great, and if it's a good guitar, it can be mind-blowing. So get a setup if you need one. Okay, thank you for watching part 2. Stay tuned for part 3, where you guys are going to be tested. Marshall, y'all good over there?
Huh?
Still
Where'd
here?
you go? I can't hear you. Oh, no, wait, I can't see you.
See you guys next time. We'll just leave him be.